guys? What's cracker lacking? I know it's kind of a extremely weird time for me to be doing this, but I have to do it right now. So I'm not going to have time a little bit later. I'll try to do another live stream when later on tonight. But we do have some stuff happening, and I want to share it with you. I don't want to not talk about this right away. Not right away, but just want to get it out to you so I know that at least I put it out for you guys so you guys get kind of an update on it anyway. If you guys could, please share the stream out. It's going to be really important on this one because of the odd time that I am live streaming. So I really would appreciate that. Again, with that being said, guys, yeah, so we've had Cme'S pop off and more flares. And, you know, guys, it's just, yeah, it just, at this point, it is what it is. And we're going to be getting some geomagnetic activity, it looks like. So, probably G1, G2, possibly up to G3. So, give me 1 second, guys, please. I'm going to go quiet here just for a second. Hopefully it won't take me long. Just, matter of fact, I'll just stay here and talk to you, but I'm kind of distracted just for a second. I got real life going on too. So, let me just do this real quick. Man, I hate doing this. I really don't like to live stream at this hour because, again, I'm not really too concerned about getting, any kind of massive views and all that stuff off of this. But I just want people to get the information. That's what it boils down to. But regardless, guys, okay, so let's just go ahead and pop into it. We do have some more flares to talk about. Okay. Almost another X flare. So you guys can see these guys. I mean, that's a strong M flare there. That is that's the one yesterday that was almost an X flare. This one here is almost as big. Okay. I want you guys to pay attention. Remember I told you guys yesterday that we dropped out the solar proton flux, the radiation storm was waning down. Check it out. Look what happened right after this one. There's a reason. It shot protons out again. So we're going to take a look at that. And I just kind of had a glancing look at this so far. But it does look as if, yeah, we got 3 Cme'S basically that are going to hit roughly at about the same time. I don't like to use the cannibal analogy because they truly do not cannibalize each other. Okay? Just remember that. They're not combining into one CME. The particles and the way that the magnetics works does not allow for that. They can get really extremely close to one another. Okay? And what that does is it pushes all those particles together like a snowplow. So when that happens, it actually acts like a CME itself. It's another shock wave that hits. So let me show you NOAA's forecast here because this is the official forecast, right? I mean, this is what people use for the forecasting. And why did I do that? That was stupid. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it this way. Man. I don't know why it's doing that. I hate it when it does that. Anyway, I'll just show it to you here. You can see G1, 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 G2, G1, G1. Right? And then all the way on to the 14th, right over here. And, yeah, so we're the 12th. So it's supposed to start here at midnight on the 12th. Roughly around midnight. And I'm not sure if this actually has this new eruption in account here. It could. I'm just not positive. But I also want to point out too, before I move too far with this radiation storm, it does look like this thing is already plateauing out. What that means is we were already real close to proton flux increase here, close enough to get us into an S1 radiation storm. It was already really close to that anyway. So it wasn't going to take much more to get us back in the storm level. That stuff was hanging around, right? So, yeah, that's what you're seeing here. Okay, and again, remember, if you see the increases in these things, if you go up here to the X-ray flux, you can see that when you get a proton increase, almost every time there's a flare prior to. So here's a flare, and you see this little hump. That's an increase. You see this bigger flare, bigger increase. Another flare, another increase. Now, we don't always get an increase in protons with flares. It just doesn't happen every time. And I went over that yesterday about as far as location and stuff when these things blow off. So, let me take you down here. And we got some pretty massive sunspots going on too. This is NOAA's forecast model. I show you guys NASA's all the time. NASA will only show you one CME at a time, one event at a time. But as you can see here, guys, NOAA has really got these things. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying it's 100% right. I don't think we can say that yet. I really don't. So if you take a look at these, and I'm going to slow it down and just kind of grab the slide bar here. Won't let me do that, will it? Let's try that. Yeah, well, okay. So this is a top-down view right here. Okay, this is a side cut. Now this is the density and this is velocity. Gives us 2 days historic data. From right now to 2 days behind us, it tells us exactly what happened. Okay, there's no question that is what happened because it's historic. That's what we got, right? Now, it tries to forecast out 5 days in advance. And again, I've said this 1,000 times. I don't trust it 5 days out. I do trust it, though. I trust it a lot more 1 or 2 days out. And we're only 1 day out from this event. And I want you guys to see this. That's 60 on the density, okay? And it's probably about 5 to 550 on the velocity. So we're on the upper end of normal, maybe even a little bit of accelerated velocity here of these particles moving. So again, I'm going to just kind of roll this back and forth. I can try to zoom in some more for you guys. I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah, it's not letting me do none of that. Tell you what I could try though. Wonder if I did it this way. Scroll down. Won't let me have a big picture of this. Nope. Okay. Well, we're going to go back to the way we had it there a second ago. I just want you guys to be able to really get a good look at this. That's all I'm trying to do here. So anyway, I will zoom in a little bit more right there. Okay, so we're about as far as we can get in there. But that's Earth. That's the sun. Okay. Oops. Well, let me go back down here and push this button again. Stupid. Anyway, so you throw that out. Now, we talked about these two here. Remember I said it had some southerly direction to these? And one of them was even going to the north. That fired off there yesterday. Now, you can see where they are, and I have to say, just the way that this model is showing, if it pans out like this, we will get a big density hit. That's black right there. If you come over here to the chart, it doesn't go much higher than that. So, and we've seen density into the hundreds before. But I don't think it's just going to be one little tap. It's going to be CME, the shock wave between the CME before, then a CME, then the shock wave between those two, then another CME. So we're talking like multiple hits here, and our magnetic field is not going to be able to recover quick enough in order to really give us a good, bounce back to be able to deflect this. Now, I'm not saying it's all going to come in. I'm not saying, first off, no grid down, okay? We're not going to talk about grid down because this ain't it. I have to say, okay? Now, this is significant. Now, we can see some, if we get into some of these higher levels. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate you, girl. For real. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys for being here. So, anyway. Now, as we move forward here, we're going to have to watch this and see exactly how it goes. And if anything changes, I will come here and show you, okay? I'm not done with this live stream. I'm just saying, if anything changes, I'll at least pop in and say, hey, this is what's going on. If it's a significant thing that I think you guys would really want to see right now, okay? I think this is important enough here for me to be able to get out here and show this to you. Plus, I've given it enough time. I was waiting because I seen this happen earlier tonight. And obviously, the big game was on tonight. And I can tell you right now that 99% of the people were probably still in bed after, all the parties and stuff that they went to and all that. But anyway, so this flare happened, and it did produce a CME. It looked to, anyway. So let's take a look at the CME. Okay, that's on the 12th, right? That was another blast there. You see that? That's probably where that radiation storm came from. Now, I'm thinking that this one here is on the backside. Now, remember, if things go off this direction from the sun, it grabs that magnetic field line. Okay? Let me pull that model up so I can show you. It grabs these magnetic connection lines. They're interplanetary magnetic field lines. There are magnetic connection with the sun. Everything's connected to the sun. Earth is here, right? So you see how it, all the energy goes out this way and then loops back? Well, this is that CME probably. Okay, right here, you see it? It looks to be going mostly off the backside, but there's a time there that the protons cross over our connection line to the sun. So when it does that, it grabs a lot of those protons and it travels along this line and gets to us. Okay? Now, if it had fired off over here, it actually would be going this way. Be going away from us. So that's why when things fire off the west limb of the sun, that's what I was talking about. That's why you're seeing a proton increase, and that's why we're seeing radiation storm. Now, this radiation storm is not going to affect us. It's just not. And S1 is not going to do anything to us. Okay? Nothing that the majority of us are going to really even notice. We probably won't really notice it at all. Now, it does look like it might be, peaking a little bit more up, a little bit more of an uptick here too. And this is barring no more flares or eruptions. Okay? Yeah. So, okay. Chat. Hey, Kathy, what's up? Good to see you. And Tina Keeson here. Linda, what's up? Main girl. Mary, Diana. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'll say the last one. Camille. From North Carolina. Maine 207. Hey, 7th. Good to see you, bud. Huh. Wow. Okay. But yeah, guys. And again, guys, I get that there's not going to be a whole lot of people here right now. But I thank you guys for being here. I really, truly do. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Keith? Anyway, so let me just get moving here. I don't want to waste your guys' time. Anyway, this is that. I don't know that this one's coming at us. So let's go take a look and let's see if we can figure that out. And the way we do that is we go over here to SDO and we'll take a look and see where this flare actually was. That thing is still loading. Are you kidding me? Wow. Anyway, we'll take a look at this while that's loading then. So let me, I'll zoom in a little bit more here. This is the magnetogram of the sun, and it's in color. And we look at the color version because we want to see polarities. Blues and reds are opposite magnetic polarities. Okay? This is that big sunspot. And there's some more sunspots up here. We've got some rapidly growing ones, and they're Earth-facing right now. So, yeah. Now, if you look at this, you got two clear sunspots. Right there, those cores. And then you got, these are bigger ones. Now, when these start intermixing, they start harboring some unstable energy, magnetic energy, and they start, swirling around each other, they will flare. Okay, that's what causes it to flare. So when we look at these, when we start seeing the colors mix, that's when we really start paying attention to what that sunspot is doing. And let me say this though first. That doesn't have to have a prior acknowledgement for a flare to happen. Okay? You could have something pop up within 15, 20 minutes and it can flare. We've seen it a bunch. So what I'm saying is, but rule of thumb, it just gives us an idea to go look and pay attention to that one specific area of the sun. You know? That's all I'm saying. So, okay. So I am going to pause this right there. This is the 94 angstrom. We get to see like the brighter flashes on this one. Okay. It shows us flares pretty well, at least the locations of them. Okay, so what we're looking for. Now, I mean, that's a flare, but it flared right there. See it? See how it went that direction, though? So I'm having a hard time thinking that's the one that went to the southwest. What I will say, it looks like it erupted right there, this direction, too. Let's look at that again. Okay, I see what's happening there. The proton flux we're getting right now is coming from a backside sunspot. I told you guys this already. This has happened. This is what happens. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna zoom in here, and you guys are going to get to see exactly what I've been talking about to you guys. We get this flare up here in the front first. Okay, so we get this flare there. And it looked like there was a CME with that. I can't confirm that, but did you guys see this? I want you guys watch down here. Okay, so this one up here erupts. Now watch the difference in how this visual looks. See that little flash? Down this way. See that? That is a backside eruption. At least that's what it looks like to me. Unless it came from like right here and we can't really see it. But I think the M flare was this. Okay? But there looked to be another eruption back here that it really has been giving us the radiation storm. But again, it's hard to see on here, so I'm not even going to say that's 100% true. You guys are looking at it with me, so, you know, I could be wrong. I'm not trying to say I'm always right on that. But just looking at that one angstrom, it does look like that could be what's going on. So let's bring this 304 over here, and sometimes this will give us a pretty good clue. Yeah, see, the plasma's reaching out here. Let me back this up. So here's this flare. Right there. See it? It just flashed. Right there. Okay, that's the flare. And then watch as I go forward here. Watch down here. What was that? You see that? There and there. There was an eruption probably right in the middle of those two. But it was on the backside. That was the backside CME. It was completely occulted by the sun. They weren't even looking at us at all. It looked to be like it was, at least it's what it looks like here. Maybe not. Hold on. It's just over the edge, it looks like. It looks like it might even be connected right here. So, like I said, guys, you're hearing me go through the steps that I go through before I really come to a conclusion. But it does look like if it was not on the backside, it was close to the limb. But regardless, there was not really a flare with that, at least that we could see. That's just an eruption. That right there would be probably a filament. It just looks to me like that's behind the sun, guys. I mean, it's just what it does. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'd like to know your guys' opinion on that. I really would. So, yeah. I mean, that right there, that's behind the limb. But I'm not saying the whole eruption was, but it sure as heck looks like the majority of it was. Well, it looks like it might have come around the front side there a little bit too. It's just hard to tell. I guess it doesn't really matter, other than the fact that we got a radiation storm from it. And it's just something that we use so we can learn from it, I guess. But the flare, the X-ray increase we got was from this one. Because you're not seeing hardly any X-ray down here. It's not, it's not flashing, or you don't see no big flash there at all. That is your flare right here. Okay? That's the M flare. Now it looks like it produced a little bit of a CME too. I'm not sure if it left or not, but it does look like it produced something there. So, yeah. Now that CME in the back, as far as the CME itself, is not going to hit us. Okay, it's going to miss. But we're getting the protons from it. Because it went across our connection line to the sun, and the protons grabbed a hold of that line, and and drew it into us. Okay? So that's what's going on with that. That's interesting. That, I don't know that I've ever reported on a flare up here, and then we get a backside eruption that causes a radiation storm. I don't know if I've ever said that. This is what it looks like to me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but can I make it stop? I don't know, Stephanie. I wish I could sometimes, that's for sure. For sure. Hope you're okay, Shastina. I don't know. I didn't know. I haven't been reading the chat. Hey, Hilly, what's up? Sharon, what's happening? Okay, so let's look at the Soho. This is the same one I showed you guys. This is the same imaging. It's just that it's on a different website. Okay, this gives us more real time. Okay, so yeah, I mean this is hard to follow, guys. It truly is. There is a lot going on here. I'm just there's a lot, and when it's like that, we can go in and look at the models and all that. And I've told you guys this before. As we moved into solar maximum, it does get harder to see which direction these things are going, because there are so many of them happening. And, and oftentimes they'll get some stuff wrong because of that. And that's okay. It's okay to get it wrong sometimes. I'm not taking a shot or anything. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It makes it really hard to forecast. In solar minimum, now I can tell you that proton increase came from that backside eruption just by this. Okay, now listen to what I'm saying. You guys see the snow that I talked about yesterday? Basically, the charged particles or protons that are hitting the detector. Watch what happens here. There's your eruption. Now watch the amount of snow we start seeing after that. See all that? So, I'm pretty confident in telling you that the flare that we seen came from this sunspot right here. Okay? And the radiation storm came from an eruption on the backside. That's just what it looks like to me. Now, again, does it matter if I'm right or wrong? Probably not in the grand scheme of things there. But it does look like that was a series of events. That's all I can come to a conclusion on there, guys. I wish I had a better way to show you, but I don't. This is the same view, guys. It's just zoomed out. This is LASCO C3. So yeah, I mean, that's a wide eruption. Now, if you remember, that same sunspot erupted like that. That might even be the one that did the X flare 2 or 3 days ago, there on the limb. So yeah. Anyway, let's see what we got going on space geomagnetically here right now. I know we've been getting some space weather hitting because we got an increase in pressure, density, and stuff's moving, so's velocity. And this is what we would be expecting with like glancing blow stuff and coronal holes, and I don't think anything massive's happening here, so I'm not really going to waste a whole lot of time showing you this. That's the magnetosphere, and the sun's off to the left, and all the energy's moving from left to right. Okay, just in case you guys didn't know. Hey BK, hey Carrie. Okay, so showed you that. Now this is the Discover data, right? And again, I show you guys this all the time. This is space weather, solar wind data. Okay, the BZ is hanging in the positive or right around normal, right around neutral. Okay, that's what's going on there. Did I do that again? What? Man, I hate it when I do that stupid stuff. Hold on a minute. Let it refresh. Okay, there we go. Anyway, the red line's what we look for. We look for -6, and that is the magnetic polarity, or the position of our magnetic position of our magnetic field, essentially. Okay, so when it's in a negative position orientation, and it goes to -6, -7, and on down, we really start drawing in the space weather, whether it be CMEs, whether it be just solar wind, protons even. Okay, so yeah, right now it's not hitting -6 at all. Now this is probably going to change, and I will say we've had a gradual increase here on the velocity, because we are seeing numbers close to 600 kilometers per second, and we're also seeing on the density, we're seeing an elevation in density too. Okay, you got 1471 there, 15, all that. Okay, so you guys take what you want from that. We could 4 on the density is what we consider normal, but again, I have to say this: I don't even like to put a normal number on that, because I've seen it be 60 and not get a hit at all. Right? Matter of fact, I seen very similar to this signature right here, and we were everybody was talking about G3, G4, kind of hit. Well, our BZ went way crazy far north to positive. Okay, I'm talking like big time positive, and we didn't even get to a G1. We might have got to a low level G1 storm from a big CME that hit. And that's why. And so anyway, but like a very strong flare, X10, on up, that produces a CME, most definitely can overcome that magnetic barrier there. Okay, just because it ain't wanting to accept it, sometimes it gets forced right down our throat, and that's what I'm trying to say. So when you get the bigger, more powerful eruptions, now I don't think that any of these are those, because typically those will be moving so fast they'll be here in less than a day, and nothing like that's happening. Okay, we're still looking 2-3 days out. So that would be what I would say to that. But and there's really not much geoelectric going on either, because geomagnetic and geoelectric, they typically will move at the same time. This is the geoelectric field at the surface. It's trying to show us space weather's effect on artificial electrical components. Anything that's not natural. Wires, wall switches, your car battery, all that stuff, right? Transformers. But they use it because they're trying to bridge that gap between space weather and earthquake forecasting. There's already a lot of good people out there that can do that really well already, and we all know their names, so I'm not going to sit here and try to get a bunch of shout outs today. I got ripped on a little bit for doing that. I do. I'm sorry, guys. I do it a lot. I really do. And it's not, I just want to help people, you know? And that's why. It's all that it is. And so, anyway, let me take you guys back here to seeds. And I know I'm kind of a little bit all over the place here. But I did want to get this out and show it to you. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, that bigger eruption's not even showing here. So let's back this up to the 11th. What do we see on the 11th? Yeah, I mean, can you guys see all these eruptions? I mean, they're continuous. It seems to be. You know, let's go to the 10th. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, you'd think he was in a Fred Flintstone cartoon. You know, bam, bam. Anyway, sorry. I like aged myself really, really bad there, didn't I? Anyway, what was that? The dinosaur dog's name was Dino. Ain't that what the dog's name was? Barney Rubble. You know what I'm talking about. Fred Flintstone working at the rock quarry. Had the cars that didn't have a bottom and they used their feet to pedal to run with their cars. But somehow they pulled in a little green Martian guy. Don't ask me how. That always puzzled me. How do you bring those two together? Anyway, yeah. So, not a whole lot more to tell you guys. I mean, we got this stuff coming. And if something else fires off, I will say this, the radiation storm does seem to still be increasing. I can't tell you exactly how high that's going to go. But I do want you guys to really know that this is happening right here. Okay, now, I've always said, we need to pay attention more when we're getting double taps, triple taps, whatever we want to call them. Multiple hits, one right after the other. That's when stuff can get in pretty easy, because we simply just don't have enough, our magnetic field don't have enough time to get back to its ambient condition to really strongly defend us. Okay. That's what I'm saying. We get compression and then rapid expansion. We get hit. It compresses the bow shock. Okay. This thing here, it'll compress, and then we'll get rapid expansion when we win that battle. It'll shoot straight off this screen, and just imagine this. It compresses. We try to shoot back out. Well, we say there's another CME like right there. What happens? It can't go out far. It's got to come right back in. So, it's just bouncing in, back and forth. So that's kind of what I'm saying here. So when we get these little consecutive hits, one right after the other, we really have to pay attention, because it does make it more significant. It does make it a little bit more intense. And something else it does, it makes it way harder to forecast, because you simply just don't know what's in between those two CMEs. That shock wave in between there. So if you got a CME coming at us here, and then the one behind it is moving faster, it's taking all those particles in between those two CMEs and piling them up like a snowplow. So you get the initial shock from the first CME, then you get the snowplow, and then you get the second CME. Okay? Now, again, remember, they don't really cannibalize themselves. Okay? They have polarities, right? So when negative and positive get close to each other, they draw in. Well, not everything is negative and positive in the same orientation when you're talking about CMEs. So a lot of it, they're actually trying to deflect the two CMEs. They just won't combine into one completely. Okay? That's why you get that shock wave in between. It looks like they combine. And I guess if you really wanted to go down that road with it, for all intents and purposes, it really is. Right? But technically it's not. Okay? I just want you guys to have that kind of knowledge, because somebody's be talking about it with you, so you guys know what have a little bit more understanding of what they're trying to say. So you can see this, and again, guys, it just looks like they're going to hit, and it's not so much advancing blow, especially that last CME. Okay, yeah, it does look like it's going to hit pretty hard. So we'll have to wait and see. And when it does happen, I will be here, and we'll do this together. You know, that's just what I do. So, all right, guys, I am going to pop off. Look for my another video later on. Please share out the stream, all that stuff. The channel is actually starting to grow again, and I appreciate you guys for that. It's awesome. It really is. I mean, I think I've gained a few subscribers. The view counts are going up. When a lot of that's because I'm posting more. So most of that's on me. Okay, I take all the brunt for that. It's my fault. But you know, I'm here now, and I plan on being here. So hopefully you guys can come back tonight, check it out. And Andrea, thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate you so much. Thanks to all my mods. Love all you guys. You guys have a good Monday. And again, guys, I'll try to come back this evening. If I'm not able to do a live stream later on, which I see no reason why I can't. But if I'm not able to, I will pop on and let you guys know, or write a community post, most likely. Back at you, Shastina. I hope you're okay. I see him throwing prayers to you, but I don't know what for. But anyway, yeah, guys. So, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.